Alright guys, we're going to be doing the rounding video. I'm going to be doing it on my Ziggy because it's easier that way. Okay, so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be reviewing rounding whole numbers. So, here we go. Rounding whole numbers. Now, this DOK means depth of knowledge. It doesn't really affect you at all. So don't even worry about that. Okay, let's look over here. It says, consider the number 75,432 shown at the left with the place values labeled to round it to the given place value. Okay, so each number right here, okay, has a place value. The sevens and the 10,000s, wait, does that look right? 10,000ths. They did that wrong. That should just be the 10,000ths. Okay, then you have the thousands, the hundreds, the tens, and the ones. Now remember, you have a place value and then you have the digit value. The 7 is worth 70,000. The 5 is worth 5,430 because 3 times 10, and then 2. Okay, first, find the place value in the number. Then look to the digit to the right. If the digit on the right is 5 or greater, add 1 place value that's being rounded. All digits to the right of the given value will become zeros. If the digit is less than 5, leave the place value the same and change the digits on the right to a 0. So basically, and this is an easier thing. So 5 or more, raise the score. 4 or less, let it rest. Okay, so 5 or more, raise the score. 4 or less, let it rest. So basically what that means is if the number to the right of the number we're rounding is 5 or more, you raise the score. If it's 4 or less, we let it rest. And another way to look at this is if you think of a roller coaster. Okay, the halfway mark between a roller coaster would be the 5. Okay, so we have 4, 3, 2, 1, and then of course you have your 0. Okay, and right here we have 6, 7, 8, and then 9. So if the number happens to go right here, let's say you have a cart, and it gets to the 4, it's going to stay there, okay, or it's going to roll back. If you get to the 5, it's going to go ahead and go to the next number. Okay, so just think of it that way. Okay, so I have a couple of steps that we do when we round. The first thing we do is we read the instructions. And it says round to the nearest 10. Now, the first thing you have to do is you have to underline the digit in the tens place. Okay, so I have 871. What number is in the tens place? Okay, if you need to look back up here, what number is in the tens place? We have our ones, tens. So the number in the tens place is the second number from the end. All right, now what we do is we have 871. Look to the number on the right. All right, if I were to round that, that 1 is less, it's 4 or less, so the 7 gets to stay. And then I turn that 1 into a 0. Same thing down here, 2,117. Underline the number of the tens place. Look to the right. and it's a 7. Okay, 5 or more raise the score. So that 1 now becomes a 2. So it's 2,120. I change that 1 to a 2, and this becomes a 0. You may also see something. I'll show you this. Let's see, to the rounded 10. Okay, so you may also see it on a number line. So here's your number line. And of course, you would have like the 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19. So where on the number line would the 2,117 be at? Okay, so here's 2, 15, 16, 17. Okay, is this dot right here, because it's 2,117, is it closer to the 2,120 or is it closer to the 2,110? It's closer to the 2,120, so that's how you would round it. Some of my kids found it easier to round when they drew the number line. Others do okay with the underlining and going to their neighbor. It's however you want to do it. But you have to be able to tell what numbers you're going to do on the number line first. Okay, let's look at the third one. Okay, it says we're rounding to the nearest 10. 14,726. Okay, the 2 is in the tens place. After I do that, I look to its neighbor, the neighbor on the right. Now, my neighbor happens to be a 6. Okay, that 6 tells me that this 2 is to go up to a 3. So 14,703, then that turns into a 0. Same thing right here. 404,152. I'm looking to the neighbor. The neighbor is less than 5, so the number I'm rounding stays the same. So 404,150. Now, where I get that 0, it's every number after the number we're rounding turns to zeros after we round it. It doesn't matter what number it is. It could be a 9 or whatever. It turns into a 0 because you're rounding between two numbers. You're rounding, like right here, we're rounding in between 404,150 and 404,160. That's the numbers that we're rounding between. Okay, since we're rounding to the nearest 10. The next one, we're rounding to the nearest 100. Okay, 100. So first you got to know where the 100 place is. Remember, ones, tens, hundreds. So underline 100. Let's go ahead and do all of them. 1, 10, hundreds. 1, 10, hundreds. 1, 10, hundreds. Okay, now we have all the hundreds underlined. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look to their neighbors. And remember, if their neighbor is 5 or more, the number we're rounding gets to go up 1. If it's 4 or less, they stay the same. Okay, so I have 451,667. So the 6 in the hundreds place is right beside a 6 in the tens place. 6 is 5 or more. So my number gets rounded up to a 7. So 451,700, because the rest of the numbers become zeros. Okay, the rest of the numbers become zeros. Right here, the 7 Okay, the 7 we're rounding because it's in the hundreds place is beside a 4. That 4 tells me that the 7 gets to stay the same. So you have 12,700 because these two numbers right here turn into zeros. Number 7, I have 99,459. Okay, 99,459. I'm going to look to my neighbor, which happens to be a 5. And if it's 5 or more, we raise the score. So the 4 that we're rounding gets to go up to a 5. Okay, now I want you to do number 8. Do number 8 for me. Okay, now I'm going to go, when you turn these in on this 14th, I will look to make sure that you do these, okay? And I'm highlighting them because I have a tendency to forget things. So, if you still need more time, remember 5 or more, raise the score. All right, number 9. We are rounding to the nearest 1,000. So let's go ahead and do our 1,000. 10, no we're not. 1, 10, 100,000. 1, 10, 100,000. 1, 10, 100,000. 1, 10, 100,000. Okay, you're doing the same thing. You're looking to the neighbor. Now, the 1 is beside a 9. Okay, that 9 is 5 or more, which means this 1 gets to go up to a 2. And everything after it turns into zeros. So it is 2,000. Okay, I have 34,562. The 4 is beside a 5. 5 or more, raise the score. So that turns into 35,000. Okay, number 11, the 8 is beside a 9. 5 or more, raise the score. So that 8 turns into a 9. Okay, I want you to do number 12. Okay, if you need more time, please pause the video and do it. Okay, we're going to 10,000. Okay, 1, 10, 100,000, 10,000. 100,000, no wait, 1, 10, 100,000. That's what happens when you get ahead of yourself. You mess up, so take your time, okay? Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. Ones, tens, 100,000s, 10,000s. Okay? So, remember, we have found our place value that we're rounding. Now we look to its neighbor on the right. 2 is 4 or less, so the 3 gets to stay the same. So it is 30,000. Okay, we're rounding the 1. The 1 is beside a 9. So that 1 turns into a 2. So 420,000. Okay, I have 557,658. I'm looking to my neighbor. The neighbor happens to be greater than 5. So the number in the 10,000s place gets to bump up to a 6. Okay, and you are going to do 16. 100,000. 100,000 is the largest number y'all go to. So you should know where that's at. 1, 10s, 100,000, 10,000, 100,000. 1, 10s, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, hundred thousands. Ones, tens, hundred thousands, 10,000s, hundred thousands. 1, 10, hundred thousands, 10,000s, hundred thousands. All right, now what we have to do is we're looking to its neighbor, and the neighbor happens to be in the 10,000s place. Okay, so the 9 is beside a 1, so that means our lovely little 9 gets to stay the same. So it turns into 900,000. Okay, the 1 is beside a 0, so we know that 1 gets to stay the same. So it is 100,000. Okay, I have a 5. It's beside a 7. That 7 is greater than 5, so that means the 5 gets to bump up to a 6. And you guessed it, you get to do number 20. Okay, so the back side, it says round the numbers in the word problems according to the directions in each problem. Circle the correct answer. Okay, it says rounded to the nearest 10, Jeremy has 350 quarters. What number could be the actual number, let's see, of quarters Jeremy has? Okay, so we rounded to the nearest 10. Okay, so let's go ahead and underline all the numbers in the tens place. Okay, now same thing applies. Look to the neighbor for each one and just round. We're rounding to the nearest 10. So 341, the 4 gets to stay the same. So it rounds to 340. 353, the 5 is beside a 3, so the 5 gets to stay. 350. I know you're like, oh, pick it. Look, just do the rest of them because you never know, okay? I have 358. The 8 makes the 5 go up to a 6. And 344, the 4 does not allow that to go up. So, which number rounded to 350? It was B. Okay? So, number 22, rounded to the nearest 1,000. There are 56,000 model car kits to ship from the Modeling Life Toy Company. Which of the numbers could actually be the number of model car kits? Okay, we're doing 1,000. Okay, remember to look to the neighbor. And we are looking for 56,000. What number rounded to 56,000? You can do this. Just look at it. Remember, 5 or more, raise the score. 4 or less, let it rest. Okay, number 23. Elizabeth has 782 dimes. Which of the numbers is the number of dimes rounded to the nearest 100? So you have 782 rounded to the nearest 100. What would that be? Okay, what would that be if you rounded 782 to the nearest 100? And then 24, a dinner served 12,844 hamburgers last year. Which of these numbers is the number of hamburgers rounded to the nearest 1,000? Same thing you did on 23. I have 12,844, and you're rounding to the nearest 1,000. Okay, so what would that round to? What would the 2 round to if it's beside an 8? All right, remember, every number after the number you're rounding turns into zeros. Now, this is Tuesday's video math, your lesson. Now, your practice and problem solving is a very simple rounding exercise. All you have to do is read the directions and answer the questions. Good luck, and I hope you have a good Tuesday.